Controlled articular rotations for the hip. You can hold on to something, you can grab a broomstick, a PVC pipe. I'm gonna grab a PVC pipe. And what we wanna do is we wanna keep every muscle in our body nice and braced. I'm gonna drive my down foot through the ground, the opposing leg, and we're just gonna go as high as we can with the knee when we hit the in range. All the way over to the side. And rotate around, and the whole time I'm trying to stay nice and tall, full range of motion, all the way back through. So it's a nice big circle with your hip. We're gonna go one more. I'll show you what that looks like from the side. Lateral. This is the part where you really gotta make sure you're staying tall. All the way back through that in range and through. Good, we're gonna go same thing on the other leg. Of course, you can do this without holding on to anything. Just wanna make sure you can stay nice and balanced. One more. Keep your breathing controlled. Right now I'm just nasal breathing. Awesome. Following that up with some Cossack squats. Just taking a nice wide stance. Staying through the heel, staying tall. 6 on each side for 12 total. That's 2. Give you a side view. 3. And just hitting a little pause at the bottom to work on that strength and stability in that bottom position. 2 more on each side. And 2, good. Now we're gonna go into some Superman. So this is gonna target the lower back, and then we're also gonna feel this on our upper back as well. Sometimes it's a bit challenging when you only are working with your body weight to find some exercises that can actually target the back. But this is a really good one. Just gonna lay down on our belly. Hands are gonna be back, and then we Superman up. A little pause. And then right back down. So my shoulder blades are down and back. Just a little squeeze. We're going to hit 12. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Awesome. Last movement, we're going to go into some handstand or some headstand practice. So we'll actually start with the headstand option. If you have a pillow or any cushion for your head, I do recommend that. I'm going to grab a mat. What we're going to try to do is form a tripod, head, 2 hands. I'm really going to focus on using my fingertips, getting my forearms vertical here. And you'll see I'm just going to stack my hips on top of my shoulders. Knee up, boom. And we're just going to play around in that position for a minute. If you need to hold this position, that's fine. The main thing is that we're just inverting our body and just playing around with that upside down position, controlling with the fingertips. Just playing around, having some fun. Down. We're almost to the end of the minute. We're going to go back to those hip cars. Two on each leg. Heart rate getting up a little bit, still focusing on your breathing. This time I'm going to keep my leg up, and I'm not going to replant before I go into my second rep. Nice. Remember, we're focusing on that hip, but every other muscle in our body needs to have tension. So we're keeping everything rigid. We're focusing on our posture, staying nice and tall. Good, that's two there. Back into the Cossack squats. So this time what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stay in a lower position. And I'm really just gonna work on controlling from side to side here, keeping tension, and really just trying to strengthen some of those corners that we probably don't spend a lot of time working on. There's two on each side. Control, control, control. This is not for speed. 3. And 3, and I'm still just working on staying nice and tall. 4. 4. Staying through my heels. 5. 5. Really feeling that in my adductors and in my groin. One more on each side. Awesome. All right, back to the Superman. One, you really have to make sure you're getting a good squeeze in this top position. 2. 3. 4. My shoulder blades are down and back. 5. 6. Exhale as we come up. 7. 8. There's 9. And 10. Awesome. All right, I'm gonna show you another variation for the handstand work. Still keeping that theme of really feeling and using all of our fingers on the mat or on the ground, wherever you're at. Forearms are going to go vertical, and I'm just going to try to stay a little bit more elevated here. And so it's all in those fingertips, and if you rock back down, that's fine. Just try to find that balance point. Come down when you need to. Play with it. Make sure you have some cushion. Got to start my watch. We'll go about 30 more seconds just playing with that position there. Breathing, focusing. Right back down. All right, last time through, y'all. Back into those hips with some controlled articular rotations. This time I'm really going to challenge myself. I'm going to try not to hold on to anything. Still working on that control. If you need to hold on to something, go back to that. And when we take away that object to brace off of, you'll notice that down foot. I'm really having to grip the ground with my toes. So this is going to build a little bit of arch strength and stability as well. Focusing my eyes to help with balance. Woo, feeling that in my feet and in my calves. Other side. Tall, 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 tall. Fight it. Back through. And it's interesting, right? My right leg and my right foot feels way more stable. So that's something that I really need to take note of. Working a little bit more on that left side can just help me to stay more balanced and healthy. All right, Cossack squat. Still working that control, control, control. I'm gonna see if I can stay a little lower this time. But I'm stable through all of these positions. There's one. Still breathing, still staying tall. 2. 3. And I'm even getting a nice squeeze in my quad there as I lengthen that hamstring. 4. Ooh, yeah. There's 5. 6. Nice. Last set of Superman. Shoulder blade set. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Shoulders barking. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Last set of handstand work, going for a minute. So now what I'm going to do, and this is something that I'm not very good at, which is why I'm practicing this. Flipping up, finding a balance point in my freestanding handstand. Again, all I'm trying to do is just find that balance point. You will not see me hold that position long because this is something I need to work on. Maybe you will, and that'll be phenomenal. I'll be really stoked about that. But go to your progression, work wherever you're getting the most return out of your effort and your energy, all right? Come on, Watts. All right, here we go, 1 minute. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna find that position where I'm really able to utilize my fingertips. I'm gonna press off with my dominant leg. My non-dominant leg is gonna go up into the air, and my push-off leg is gonna be back more at like a 90-degree angle when you're looking at both my legs. So there I am. Fingers, eyes are down, and I'm just trying to point up with that back leg. You'll see I need a little more. Starting to balance just a little bit more there. Caught a little bit, caught a little bit. Woo! Shoulders are feeling it. That's a minute. That's your 3 rounds. Hope you enjoyed that. I'm going to kick it over to Sam for for your flow portion of the workout.
Everyone, great job with your hustle. It's time to flow. We're going to start seated. You may, if you have one laying around, grab a blanket or a block to sit up on to elevate your hips a little bit. If you don't, you can sit flat on the floor, that's fine. Let's bring the bottoms of our feet together, knees opening out. And if it's not comfortable on your knees to be here, you can either have your feet a little further away from your body or use some blocks or blankets to support the knees. Let's take a deep breath in, sitting tall, and as you breathe it out, just start to hinge and fold forward. Walk the hands forward. And we're just gonna hold here. Slow the breathing down. Closing your eyes. In and out through your nose. Only going to your comfortable in range position. You might find as you're here a little longer that you can go a little deeper. If you wanted, you could also walk your hands to the right, get a little side stretch. Reaching through that left arm. And go over to the left. Reaching, reaching, reaching. Back to the center. Either stay like this in the stretch, or if you want to work a little more active range of motion, you can bring your hands onto your ankles and your inner thighs, or your elbows to your inner thighs. Start to lift the knees like you were trying to bring the knees together, but at the same time push the elbows into the inner thighs. So you're squeezing your inner thighs pretty strongly here. Hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, relax. Now do the opposite. You might want to lift the knees a little higher and then bring your hands to the outside of your knees and then drive the knees down to your hands while your hands are pressing back up against the knees. Hold for 10. Glutes should be working. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Good. And then you could repeat that multiple times. We're just going to do it that one time. But let's now hold into the ankles. We're going to do some seated cat cows. So as you inhale, rock the pelvis forward. Lift your chest. Look up to the ceiling. Shoulders roll back. Exhale. Tuck the hips under, round the spine. You can even push into your legs a little bit to help you get a little bit more of that rounding, a little stretch in your back. And again, inhale, rock forward. Lift the chest. Look up. Exhale, curl and round. One more time. Inhale. Exhale, curl and round. And then come back to the center. Now just stretch the legs out for a second. Give them a little shake. And let's cross the legs. From here, we're going to do some mobility in our shoulders and our upper back. So let's reach your arms out to a T and then give yourself a hug. Let's do right on top of the left. So you can either stay just like this, or you can either try to lift your hands, keep the elbows stacking, and hook and clasp the hands the best you can. But if that feels like it's too difficult, just keep holding on to your shoulders and give yourself a hug. So from here, we're going to do some really big circles where we're going to try to keep our pelvis still. So we're going to try not to move there, but take a breath in. And as you breathe out, start to drop elbows towards your belly button, really grounding the spine. And then now start to rotate your torso over towards your right leg. Go as far as you can, rotating, not moving the hips. And then move that into a side bend. So you start to go to the side, your right ribs moving towards your right hip. And then now inhale, start to lean back, lift the elbows, going into a little back bend here. Lift the chest. And then again, over into a side bend to the left, rib cage dropping towards your hip. When you can't get any more side bend, start to rotate into a little twist and round. And then let's go the opposite direction. Start to rotate over to the left. Get as much range as you can. And then move into a side bend. And then lift the chest, lift the elbows. Up and over, side bend. To the right. Rotate and round. And come back up. Shake that out. Let's switch the cross of our legs and other side. So reach the arms out. Let's do left on top of the right here. Give yourself a hug, a little squeeze, pat the back because you made it. And then again, either stay like this. You can do this whole thing with the arms just in the same position, or lifting the hands for eagle arms if that's comfortable. Take a breath in, breathe out, drop, elbows to belly. And then go ahead and let's lead to the left this time. So rotate to the left, then side bend. And then lift the chest, lift the elbows, go up and over, side bend to the right. Then twist, then round. Reverse it, rotate, twisting. So your torso is rotating relative to the pelvis. And then go into your side bend. Then lift the chest, go into a back bend, elbows go up and over, side bend left. Rotate and round. Come back up, shake it out, reach the arms out. Bring the hands together and just do some wrist circles here on our wrist a little bit. And reverse. Good. I hear some Rice Krispies. And then just shake out the hands. All right, that's it. Great job with your hustle and flow. See you next time. Namaste.